And you can also turn on the transcription if you do prefer that. That might allow you to hear me better as well. Okay, so welcome to Ethical Uses for Productivity, Demonstrations and Conversations in 50 Minutes. This is one of the 4 different generative AI workshops being offered by me at SCC this quarter, and it's open to anybody, including students and employees of the colleges, the Spokane colleges. So I want to preface this presentation by asking you to, on your end, think about logging into the Gen AI tools or tool that you would like to use today. I've listed a few that will be helpful for completing the tasks that we have. However, you might have a tool that is not listed here that you might want to use, and that is totally fine. The goal is to get you to using these tools today. So we've got on this opening slide, ChatGPT, Copilot, Claude, and Perplexity. The first 3 in particular are probably going to be your best bet. Perplexity might come in handy, might be helpful, but it is not, well, we'll get there in a minute, but it's not the same in terms of its ability to create new documents the way the other tools can be used. So let's go along here. I mentioned this will be recorded. Let's talk a little bit about outcomes for today. It is a short session, but we do have some things we want to get done and achieve. The big thing is considering acceptable or ethical and unacceptable practices in Gen AI usage. So if you've been to the ethics session that I run, you'll know that ethics is something that we can agree on as a group or society, things that are agreeable, things that are approved, things that are not going to harm people when we do them. And then also unacceptable. So what do we consider unacceptable or not allowed or prohibited? So we've got that on the group level, but what it really falls down to is the individual level. So some of you may be using these tools all the time, and you might not have as many concerns as other folks, and that's okay. If you're using these tools and you feel uneasy or awkward, or maybe you feel something that causes you to think about your ethical stance on these tools, that's awesome. That's part of the reason why we're practicing using the tools, so that we can learn that about ourselves. So keep that in mind. Apply basic knowledge of Gen AI tools to perform professional tasks. This is the whole point of this session today. We're going to be putting into practice using these tools that we talk about and hear about all the time. And finally, explore iterative Gen AI prompting for editing and revising output. This is the big takeaway, if you will, in terms of the tech skills for today, is that I want you to know that you can use these tools over time, not just as a one shot, not just like you would with a search engine where you give once and you get back once, but that these tools really are designed to be iterative or used in a conversation. So we'll see what that looks like when we go into the different scenarios. So this session centers project-based learning and active participation. The project-based learning thing is really the tasks could be considered little projects, but we're also learning about completing these projects or these tasks together. Even though everyone is muted today and online, there's no one in the room here at SCC, that is fine. Still designed to be interactive and having you complete the tasks from wherever you're at today. We're going to work on these common tasks as they can be encountered in the real world. I developed these not from some vast imagination, but from actual tasks that I've seen completed by myself and others in the real world. And I've seen these tasks done by Gen AI as well as done before Gen AI existed. So these are rooted in things you might encounter when you're working out there. Work can be completed by groups or individuals. I have not set up breakout rooms and teams before, but if there is an interest in doing these as a group, I will figure that out for you. This is an exploration of Gen AI. You can choose which tools you want to use. These tasks are rooted in professional and educational contexts. And for those of you watching this recording in the future, you can still work on these tasks too. This isn't something that you need to participate in synchronously through this session, though I am happy that everyone is here this morning. If you don't finish, hey, that's not Sade. Oh, there's Sade. Heather, your image popped up before anyone else's. If you don't finish during the session, I do invite you to try to complete this on your own. You won't have a lot of time. It's going to fly by really quickly. Hi, Heather. Okay, what makes a task ethical? We'll go into this a little bit more. So this image just describes, the light and the dark, the illuminated and the shadowy. And yeah, I just want to reiterate what I went into earlier, that these types of tasks may be considered approved or good in eyes of society, but some people might say that these tasks might not be, in terms of why would we use a tool like generative AI to complete these tasks versus doing it all on our own without the help of technology or without the help of Gen AI technology? These are questions that we each need to ask and answer as we go through with this process of completing the tasks. And I will just say that I feel more comfortable using the tools, but some days I don't want to use them because I do feel like there might be some problems with using them. For example, when I'm creating images, sometimes I encounter the visual biases that are included in these tools, and I end up not wanting to use them. I'll just go use an open source image or clip art or something like that, because then I don't have to worry about the ethical issues of some of the visuals that the tools create. So I want you to keep this in mind as you're going through these tasks. And now let's talk about them. The tasks include, there are 4 of them. One is resume refinement. And you'll all see what these look like. If you already opened the Word document I emailed you, you've already previewed these. The second one is creating a project schedule. The third one is email formatting and tone. And the fourth one is creating a donation template. So some of you may have done this in your lives. How many of you have done one of these? You've either created a resume, worked on a project, could be any project, you've written an email, or you've created a donation or other type of template document for your work or in school. I saw it. Hands from Heather and Sade. That's great. Feel free to throw it in the chat or unmute if you want, folks, while I take another sip of coffee. I wish my life had as many windows as this pictures. Welcome, Joel. Thanks for unmuting.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, so that's actually the end of the slideshow. So I forgot how short this slideshow was. So some of you may have not done any of these tasks outside of this workshop before, and that's fine too. I'm gonna go through these real quick and then turn it over to everyone. You should be able to follow these worksheets and check your email if you want to fill it out on your own device. But before we get going, I'm just gonna show you what they all are for real. So activity 1 is resume refinement. And we will practice revising a resume using Gen AI to meet various requirements. And the outcome is to examine one or more Gen AI tools and their ability to recontextualize documents. So if that sounds like an interesting one for you to do, if you're thinking about how these tools could help you with your resumes, put a pin in this one and consider working on this one for the rest of today's session. Just to be clear about the design of these activity sheets, it has a description and outcome and then the step-by-step instructions for completing the activity. So it's all laid out there. I'm not going to go through all of them step-by-step. That involves some reading on your part. Activity 2, project schedule. We'll practice creating a robust schedule using Gen AI to meet various requirements. Examine one or more Gen AI tools and their ability to create new documents and tools. So if that one sounds interesting, Put a pin in it. You might have time to do 2 of them. 3, email formatting. We will practice asking a GenAI tool to create a professional email and then revise it in a variety of ways. Examine 1 or more GenAI tools and their ability to create documents and edit tone. And 4, donation template. We will practice asking a GenAI tool to create and refine a donation template for an organization. And this will examine 1 or more GenAI tools and their ability to create new documents tools. The outcomes are kind of all similar here. Okay, before we get started, I want to make sure everyone has a copy of this file in case you did not have access to your email. What I'm going to do, and it might break the computers as usual, is I'll download that and put that in the chat as a file for you to work on your own device. So yes, again, this is something we're going to be doing for the rest of the session. I would, just for the sake of participation, I want to invite questions, but I also would like to hear what everyone plans on working on. So I'm going to stop sharing. And I'm going to ask each of you. Why don't you unmute and just share or put in the chat what you're interested in working on? Of the 4.
Heather and I are planning on working on the project schedule.
Wonderful. Thank you both.
I also think I will do the project schedule.
Perfect, Joel. Thank you. Okay, thank you. We've got planning on working through the resume refinement activity. Wonderful. Crystal. And Brandy, project schedule. Okay. A lot of people like the project schedules. Cassandra, I see you're unmuted. Do you want to share which one's interesting to you?
I'd say project schedule as well.
Okay, wow. It's a popular one this morning. Thank you, Donna. Okay, so I am going to ask now if there are any questions, or did anyone want to work in a breakout room with another person or other people? Heather and Sade seem to have it built in. You'll be working nearby anyway. That's cool. And bye, Barbara. Okay. So here's what's going to happen. We have until 10:20 to work on this. For the sake of the recording, I'm probably going to stop the recording now because whoever's watching this doesn't need to just see people working together or working individually. And then I will be here to help